Hello friends, my name is Shivam from DevOps Schools and I will help you to enable your learning process in various technologies of DevOps, artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data and many more. This is our initiative to help you by sharing multiple tutorials and videos. And if you want any specific tutorials or any particular topic, then please do comment in the below comment section and I will help you with it. Also, please subscribe to our premium services on YouTube, which will give you access to more content and videos to enhance your knowledge about all these topics. Also, if you want me to help you with regards to the online trainings and classroom sessions by our qualified trainers, then please do write me at contact@devopsschool.com. Thank you.
One second. Okay, so now you can see del data dot is null dot sum. So now you can see there are no null columns at all. Everything has some valid values. Okay, so now what we are going to do is we need to find, okay, so which team has scored highest runs. Okay, which team has scored some highest runs actually. So before that, let's find, okay, let's find who are all the batting teams. Okay, let's find who are all the batting teams. Who are the batting teams? Who are all the batting teams actually? Okay, so I can just write del underscore data. Okay, so batting underscore team. There is something called value counts. Okay, so whenever I say del data of batting team, what will happen? It will just display all these columns, right? You guys know about it. It's a series object. It will just display all these columns actually. But now if I say value underscore counts, it's a very powerful method. That is, it will just count the number of occurrences of each and every instance. For example, how many entries are exist for Sunrisers Hyderabad? How many entries are exist for Royal Challengers Bangalore? Like this. Okay, so now you can see. Okay, we have something like Mumbai Indians, Royal Challengers Bangalore, Kings 11 Punjab, okay, Kolkata Knight Riders, Delhi Daredevils, CSK, Rajasthan, something, something, something. And then you can see for Pune Super Giants, we have two things, like one is Super Giant and other one is Super Giants. Okay, we have two duplicate entries actually. Okay, so in this case, what we can do is we can, okay, combine these two into one. Okay, that is change the team name for Pune. Okay, so what we can do, I can just write del data dot locate delivery data of batting underscore team. Okay, so wherever it is like Rising Pune Super Giant. Okay, and then I'm just modifying like batting underscore team is equal to Rising Pune Super Giants, like this. So now if you do, there will not be two repeatance data. Okay, now if you do, those two columns would have combined now. You can see only one entry for Super Giants, that is 3480. Okay, so like this also the data set will be present. Okay, so like you need to check each and every column, like if you want to consider this particular column for your models. Okay, so you have to check each and every column basically. Okay, and then if you want to normalize it, you have to normalize it. And if there is any null values, and if that, see for example, like if there are some few null values in the columns, right, we will not drop the entire null columns. Okay, so in that case what we will do is we will just assign some default values to that. So remember yesterday we were doing something like fill na, okay, like fill value method is equal to f fill, method is equal to b fill. So those methods has to be used for data cleaning. Okay, so like this we need to analyze each and every column. So here we have taken only one column basically, right? So like this, we have to analyze each and every column actually. So these are all like data pre-processing. Okay, so before start building the model, so what needs to be done? Okay, so this is one step above. Okay, above building the model actually. All right. So guys, any doubts so far?
Yeah, Mohan,
Any-
one you had in the drop method we have used axis is equal to 1 and in place some value we gave,
Yes,
right?
yes,
Is
yes.
using that?
One second, one person is waiting. One second, who's that? Log this meeting. Yeah, yeah. Tell me, Susan.
Okay.
This one, right?
Huh.
Yeah. See, axis is equal to 1 means we are dropping based on the column names. If I am not giving axis is equal to 1, what will happen? It will consider as a row index. So this particular value, okay, so this particular value will be checked in the row index actually, like this 0 1 2 3 4, like that.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Yeah, one second. Like Srivastava Abhishek is waiting to join the locked meeting. Abhishek, you are there?
Yeah, I'm just trying to connect through app right now. Just allow me in.
Oh, okay. Wait, unlock. Let me do. Are you able to log in now? Hey, it's a different tool, man, actually. Okay, that's fine. Okay, and then this in place is equal to true means, see, for example, if I am not giving this right, this will produce the output. That is, this will return the output, which is the modified version. Okay, the same reference will never be impacted. Okay, Susan. So if I say in place is equal to true, these columns will be removed and the same object will be impacted.
Okay.
For use. Okay, so that's why we are giving in place is equal to
data will set in the same variable.
Yes, exactly. It will be stored in the same variable. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So please do it, and then we'll draw some graphs. Okay. Like by analyzing the data, we will draw some graphs.
Done from my side.
Yep.
From my side.
Yes. So now we are going to find which team has scored, okay, highest runs in IPL. Okay. Now we are going to find that. Okay. So for that, so let's say I'm just going to select Mumbai Indians over here. Okay, I'm just going to select Mumbai Indians over here, like let's say batting team, and then I'm just saying filter. Okay, then I'm just writing and just selecting Mumbai Indians here. Okay, so we have something called a total runs over here, right? So we need to just to find the sum of all. Okay, so what is the runs over here basically? That is, sum is 24,521. So this is the run which is scored by Mumbai Indians. Okay, so now, so you are able to see the sum right over here, right? Sum is 24,521. So we are going to bring it, okay, over there. So how we can bring it? Let's see that. Okay, let me go back. So what we can do, we can just say, okay, del underscore data. That is, we need to group by batting team. Correct? We need to group by batting team. So we'll be having, see, for example, if I say groups, right, we'll be having like this. That is, for each and every team, we'll be having n number of groups. See here, for Chennai Super Kings, I have 15,754 records, and for Deccan Chargers, I have 9,034 records. Okay, similarly, for Mumbai Indians, I have 18,943 records. Okay, so in this particular groups, okay, in this thing, I am selecting only total runs. Okay, I am selecting only total runs over here. Okay, then I am finding the sum of all. That is, I am grouping the batting team first. Then in that particular group, I am selecting total runs. Then I am finding the sum of all. Okay, so now you can see the sum like this. That is, Chennai Super Kings is 20,899, Deccan Chargers is 11,463, and then if you see Mumbai Indians, it is 24,521. It is getting matched, right? Okay, now if I want to arrange in descending order, how can I do that? This is a series object. If I want to arrange in descending order, how can I do that? We have seen that yesterday, right? That is dot sort values within the bracket ascending is equal to false. Okay, so now you can see Mumbai Indians have scored a lot of runs, that is 24,521. Okay, and Kochi Tuskers Kerala have scored 1,901 because it has played only one season. Okay, so this is nothing but one particular axis. So let's say this is for data underscore x. Okay, and then data underscore y. So what is data underscore y? So this is the x, this is the y axis, and this is the x axis. So we are going to consider this in x axis and this in y axis. Okay, so that is, I can say data y is equal to data underscore x dot index. Got it? If I say data x underscore index, what will happen? It will select only Mumbai Indians till that is only the index will be selected over here. Now we are going to plot it using Seaborn library. That is, first I am going to create the plot. Figure comma ax is equal to plt dot subplots 1, and then figure size is equal to 8 comma 5. So what is this plt dot subplots? PLT, we know it's a matplotlib library. Okay, dot subplots, that is, in a single space you can plot multiple graphs. That's nothing but subplots. How many graphs you can plot it in that particular space? Okay, you can plot n, that is, whatever value that you are going to provide here, you can plot that much number of plots. So here I have given only one. So only one plot you can do it. Then what is the size? What is the dimension? You can give any dimension over here. Now whenever I do sb dot bar plot, okay, and then I can say data underscore x and then data underscore y, and then ax is equal to ax. That is where this particular plot has to be placed. Okay, so now you can see the output like this. That is, this is Mumbai Indians have scored a lot of runs. For example, if you interchange it, let's say sb dot bar plot, okay, let me just write it. If you interchange it, you can see horizontal bar graph. Sorry, this is vertical, right? Yeah, this is horizontal. Okay, you can plot vertical bar graph like data y comma data x, like this. Now over here you can see the title, okay, is clumsy, right? So for that, what we can do is you can say plt dot xticks. Xticks means all labels, that is each and every label. Okay, and then you are just rotating to some 90 degrees. Now you can see here. So by default it is just 0 degree, so you can just rotate it like this. For example, if you give something like 45, it's something like this, but it's not looking good, right? So we can just say 90. Okay, now you can see. So either you can plot horizontal bar graph or you can plot vertical bar graph like this. Now you can see the icons like Mumbai Indians is this, okay, bank that is RCB is this, okay, Kings XI Punjab is this. Okay, so you can see the data like this actually. Okay, so this is what, like, based on the highest runs scored by a particular team. Okay, So like this, you can find whatever you need over there. Okay, from the data. Okay, like if you want to find like the player who has scored more runs in IPL, you can find. Okay, so whatever you need to find from that particular CSV file, you can find it, no problem at all. Okay, so guys, please take it down, and then
Can
we'll
you-
see some two more. Yeah.
Once
yeah,
again,
Selena?
can you scroll a little up? I did
Yes.
not get that subplots that method is. So what is the response return value from that subplot?
This will
Because we
return a
have
tuple basically. Okay, one
tuple.
is that dimension. Okay, the entire dimension. Okay, see, if I print this figure is nothing but entire dimension. Okay, and then this AX is nothing but it's an array basically. Depends on the number that you have given, that will be created. So now you can see something like this. Okay, it's a dimension for figure, and this is nothing but for one particular subplot, what is the dimension? Okay, so for example, if you say 2, right? Okay, now you will see something like this. See, we have two different subplot. So in this case, I have to mention here, like on AX of 0, we need to plot it over here. Okay, see, I'm just plotting it. SB dot bar plot data underscore x comma data underscore y comma AX is equal to AX of 1. Sorry, let's say AX of 0 and AX of 1. Okay, because I have given two subplots here. Okay, so within the given dimension, it will divide it like this. Okay, so now for example, if I let me give some highest number like 10 comma 10 like that. Okay, so now it will produce, if you see AX, it is producing two different elements. This is one element, this is one element. So I'm going to place first graph on AX of 0. This is AX of 0. Okay, and then for this one I'm placing on AX of 1. That is, what is this data X, data Y? That is this one. Now this one will be printed on the first bar plot, and this one will be printed on the second bar plot. So you can see here.
Okay.
Like
so can understanding is like that figure represents the whole image that is
whole
going to
dimension.
get
Whole dimension. Yes, yes.
Those are the two different elements that will be added in that. It is like
Exactly. So figure is
okay.
nothing but the whole dimension of the this one. It depends on
Image.
whatever size that you have mentioned, right? Okay, that is the
Okay.
figure. Okay, now
Okay.
this AX is nothing but depends on the subplots it will define. Now you can see, right, two graph in one particular stuff itself.
Okay, yeah, it's clear.
Okay, yeah. I will just copy this also. Please try it out. Two more problems. We will see. You guys know about pivot table? Pivot table.
In Excel, we have the pivot table, right? Is that the thing that
Same thing.
Done.
Done, right, everyone? Okay. So we will just see two more problems with respect to this, and then we'll move on to the models. Okay. So that is, now we are going to see how the batsman has scored through the overs. Like in first over, like each and every player, how they have scored. Like, okay, scores by batsman. See, we can do a lot of things with respect to these data and all. Okay, so I'm just pinpointing some important stuffs. Like there is, by covering all the topics. Like, so here we have covered how to draw some subplots. Okay, and then how we can group by, and then how we can find all the sums. So now we are going to see how we can construct the pivot table from the data frame. Okay, so now I'm just writing batsman per over is equal to, I can say PD dot pivot table. Okay, so first parameter is what is the data frame, that is delivery data, and then what values needs to be considered. That is, here if you see, okay, here if you see, there is something called batsman runs. Okay, so only this has to be considered. Okay, this is nothing but values. Okay, so now I can say values is equal to batsman underscore runs. Okay, and then index based on which the batsman runs has to be considered. Now I have told, right, that is scores by batsman per over. So I can say index is equal to over. Okay, and then what we need to do, which column needs to be considered for batsman. That is, see here, this is the name of the batsman, right? See, we should not consider non-striker. Okay, that is different. So we have to consider the batsman. Okay, so I can say columns is equal to batsman. Now what things needs to be considered, like what aggregate function needs to be considered? I have to consider the sum. That is, we need to find the total runs scored by the batsman. Okay, so now if I just print it, okay, now you can say batsman per over, I can just write something like this. See here, I have totally 20 rows over here, and then 461 columns is getting displayed. Okay, so because we have only 20 overs, that's why we have 20 overs, sorry, 20 rows, but we have 461 players played so far. Okay, 461 players, and you can see there are something like NAN like that. There's something like, you can see NAN. So these are nothing but some null values. Okay, so if there is NAN, I want 0 has to be populated by default. Okay, if there is NAN in some records, I want 0 has to be populated by default. So I can say dot fill NA of 0. See here, now you can't see any NAN values there. I can directly say dot fill NA of 0. So basically this is a data frame only. Okay, this is a data frame. PD dot pivot table produces a data frame. Okay, so in this we have all column, that is all players names in the column index and over in the row index. Okay, so now what we are going to do here is we are just going to consider two key players. Okay, we are going to consider two key players, that is MSD and Virat Kohli. Okay, so we are going to consider two key players. So we have to know like what is the name that has been given to the particular players, right? So let's say definitely there will be Dhoni. Okay, this is MS Dhoni. Okay, and then for Kohli I have V Kohli. Okay, so now what we can do is we can just write over here batsman per over of MS Dhoni. That is, we are just filtering only one particular column. Now you can see in first over, that is in all 20 overs, I am able to see all the data. Okay, and similarly, let me just do batsman per over of Virat Kohli. Now you can see all the data like this. So now what we are going to do is we are going to plot it. Okay, let me just select the same thing. Okay, let me just select the same thing. Okay, so let's write it. So plot it. Plot. So I can say figure comma AX is equal to PLT dot subplots 2 comma figure size is equal to 10 comma 10. Okay, now what I am going to do, okay, so this is another way of plotting it. Okay, so now what we are going to do is we are going to plot it based on this data frame itself. Okay, so here we used SB, that is Seaborn plot. Okay, here we used SB. Now we are going to plot from the data frame itself. Okay, that is batsman per over. Okay, dot I locate. Okay, or locate all the rows and then only MS Dhoni column. Okay, now what will happen in this case? Now you can see the values. Now you can see the values here. That is all the rows, only MS Dhoni. Okay, and then dot plot. What is the graph? Kind is equal to bar. I need bar graph. I need legend is equal to true. This data frame dot plot is also built on top of matplotlib library. Okay, this data frame dot plot is also, that is pandas dot plot, is also built on top of matplotlib library. So legend, yes, I need, and then where I should place ax of 0, because we have two subplots here. Okay, we have two subplots here, so we are just saying ax is equal to ax of 0. All right, similarly I can just say for Virat Kohli, that is V Kohli, and then here I have to say ax of 1. So now you can see this is for MS Dhoni and this is for Virat Kohli. So now you can see for MS Dhoni, so he has never batted in the first 4 overs. So in 5th over, 6th over, 7th over, so it is gradually increasing. It's gradually increasing. You can see the stats over here, for MS Dhoni. And Virat Kohli has batted in all the overs, but there is not much peak when compared to MS Dhoni. So that's why we used to say MS Dhoni is a great finisher and Virat Kohli is a great batsman. Okay, now you can see the rise in the skewness in the data, but over here it is somewhat like this. Okay, so like this you can plot for each and every player, depends on, like for example, if you need some 10 players data, okay, you can just put it in some loop, okay, and then you can just play it actually, no problem at all. For example, if you need that, I can just help you out. Like for example, what we can do, let it be, I don't want to disturb this particular code, so I can just say something like LST players, okay, is equal to, first let it be MS Dhoni, then let's say Virat Kohli. Okay, that is if you want some other players as well. Okay, so let's say Rohit Sharma. Yeah, R Sharma only. Let's take some 5 players. Okay, and then star batsman Sachin Baby. Oh, he is a different person actually. SR Tendulkar, right? So let's see, SR Tendulkar, and just one more batsman. Let's take Chris Gayle. Okay, he is the star of IPL, right? So yeah, CH Gayle. Okay, so let's take him. Okay, now I have 5 players over here. All right, so now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to have, okay, so here instead of doing this over here, I can just say len of LST underscore players. Okay, then here I can give 15 comma 15, something like that. Okay, 15 comma 15. So now what we can do over here is I can say for I, or for n in, okay, range of 1 comma, sorry, range of len of LST players, okay, so it is not required to give anything over here. I can just give it over here like this. Instead of this, I can just give LST underscore players of n,
To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the 3D99 plan and grow your skills immensely.
And AX of n. Okay, see here, you can see. Okay, so you can see like MS Dhoni, Virat Kohli. Oh, Rohit Sharma data is wrong. Okay, there is no proper data for Rohit Sharma. And then, might be this is different Rohit Sharma. Yes, this is Rahul Sharma, might be. RG Sharma, actually, right? So we can say RG Sharma. Now it is proper. This is Rohit Sharma, this is Sachin Tendulkar, and this is Chris Gayle. Okay, so like this you can plot for any particular, that is any number of players actually. So this is like dynamically the subplots will be plotted, depends on the number of players. Okay, so this is how you have to plot for n number of players basically. Okay, yeah, so please try it out. So guys, getting it right, everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So and then we will see the last one. There is a player who has received most player of the match, the most number of player of the match. Okay,
Done from my end.
yes. What about other two?
Yes, that.
Okay, so this is the last one with respect to this. So now I want to find who who has won the most number of player of the match awards. Okay, so if you see the content, that is, if you see the columns over here, we don't have anything. There is any columns which is related to that. Okay, so for that we have another file called matches.csv. Okay, we have another CSV file called matches.csv. So here this ID is the primary key. Okay, ID is the unique key actually. Okay, so now if you go back to this match ID, this ID is related to this match ID. Okay, so what is the first match? Basically, team 1 is Sunrisers and team 2 is Royal Challengers Bangalore, RCB, right? So now you can see batting team is Sunrisers, bowling team is Royal Challengers Bangalore. So this is like delivery details, like each and every ball details which is present in deliveries.csv, and each and every match details that is present in matches.csv. Okay, so now here you can see the player of the match awards over here. Okay, like Yuvraj Singh, SPD Smith, okay, like that. Okay, so now what we are going to do is we are going to read this particular thing. Okay, like let's say matches is equal to pd.read csv, data underscore files, okay, data underscore files /matches.csv, okay. Then I can say matches.head. Okay, so I have read this particular file. Okay, so and then the first step I can say matches.isNull.sum. Now I have umpire3 has 636 null fields, null values. So now if you see the shape of this matches.shape, now you can see 636 records. So this all 636 rows have null values with respect to umpire3. So it is not required to have that actually. Okay, so I can say matches.drop and then I can say umpire3. Okay, and then I can say like umpire1, that is also not required anyways. Okay, and then umpire2. Okay, and then I can say access is equal to 1, then in place is equal to true. Okay, now if I say matches.shape, 636 records are there, no problem. And then matches.isNull.sum. Now you can see there are some like something like player of match is null, and then winner is null, and then city is null. So now what we can do is we can just drop those records wherever we have null values. See, so far we dropped the columns. Okay, wherever we have null values, we have dropped the entire column. Okay, so now if we dropped this particular column, so it will create problems actually, right? So now what we can do, I can just say matches.drop NA. Okay, so we saw something called fill NA, right? So fill NA is used to fill the values wherever NaN values are there. Okay, drop NA, what will happen? Wherever NaN values are there, it will drop the entire row. Okay, then I can say in place is equal to true. Now I can see matches.shape. We have something like 626 records. Okay, so just 10 records is not a problem at all, right? Just 10 records actually. Okay, so now let's see who has won the highest number of player of the match awards. Okay, now we have something like this, right? Player of match. So we can just directly do this, like matches of.
Good
Yes,
question there.
yes,
So we intended to have a player of the match here, right? Where we see three records were actually having null. Most likely it was actually dropped off or tied off, right?
yes,
So
exactly.
what about the, I think with this command, drop NA in place is equal to true, it will be deleting all the records wherever we see some more than 3, right? And more than 0, for example, even in the winner 3, those records will be deleted as well. Is there
Everything
any
will be
way?
dropped.
Yeah, so
Everything will be dropped.
is there any way I can just select the player of the match wherever I find 3? I just
Hmm.
drop that row instead of dropping
Yes,
everything.
yes. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. The thing is, what you have to do is like the drop, right? You have to select the index. See, I will just do that. Okay. See, instead of doing this, because this will drop. Okay, this will drop all the records. Okay, which has NaN. Okay, irrespective of the columns. Now, if you want to drop only the particular column, what you have to do is first you need to find it. Okay, for that I can say matches.drop. Okay, so first let me just find it out. I can say matches of player of match matches of pd.isNull matches of player of match. So now you can see only these 3 records. Okay, only these 3 records it will be there. Okay, see NaN. So now what you can do is, you can just select the index of this dot index. You can see index is what? 300, 545, 570. Now what you can do, you can just place this matches dot drop, this one, and then in place is equal to true. Because over here, it is not required to give access. By default, whenever you give the index, that will be checked in row. That is by default, access is 0. Okay, access is 0 by default. Okay, so now if I do matches dot isNull dot sum, still you can see city as 7 null entries, and then yeah, winner is same. Actually, I think winner is also there, I think, in the same records. That's the reason.
Yeah.
The winner is 3 and player of match is 3. So city is still there.
Okay.
Okay, city is still there actually. So like this, you can just drop only those particular records, not all the records basically.
Fair. Thank you.
Got it? Yeah. Okay, so now if I want to say like retrieve the players who has won, okay, the maximum player of match awards. Maximum player of the match awards. So I can just write matches of player of match, okay, dot value counts. Now you can see there are so many players, but I want only the first 10, top 10. Okay, so for that I can say dot head of 10. So these are the players who has won most number of this thing, that is player of the match. So we have something called count plot. We did this right. The same thing will be done via graphically. Okay, that is, I can just write over here. Okay, I can just write over here. Okay, so let me just save this like most man of the match. Okay, awards. So I can say SB dot count plot. We can say, okay, and then I can just write most man of the match awards like this. I didn't execute it, is it? Okay, now you can see. Okay, something like this. All right. So now if you want to draw some bar plot on this, I can just say man of the match, that is most MOM awards, comma, most MOM awards dot index. Now you can see here, Chris Gayle, Pathan, like that. Okay, so like this you can just do it. Okay, plot. So here I didn't use that figure, so that's why it is so compressed kind of. For example, if you use figure, right? Okay, let's say figure comma AX is equal to PLT dot subplots. Okay, so I can just write 1, and then figure size is equal to, I can give something like 8,5 or something, and then over here I can see, since there is only 1, I can just give AX equal to AX. Now you can see, okay, some customized plot kind of. Okay, so guys, clear? Any doubts with this? Any doubts with this?
I'm good.
No.
Okay. The thing is, still further, you can do a lot of things basically, like you can combine these two CSV files. For example, if you want to find, okay, if you want to find who is the top scorer so far in IPL or per season. Okay, if you want to find who is a top scorer per season. Okay, so in that particular case, right, you need to combine these two CSV files, because in matches.csv we have the data only for the particular match. Okay, we don't have the batsman runs basically, right? So in that case, you have to combine two different CSV files and then you have to do it. Okay, so that also can be done over here. So let me just try it.
Okay, Mohan, one question. When it comes to the real data, that when we process data like this, and then still that data also will be coming with the duplicate data, everything, right? So like the way
Yes.
So in that case, so this part, what we are preparing for to prepare the model, whatever data we have. So when when the model is placed for actual processing, how we will tackle this data?
For actual, that means come again.
So now I am passing the actual data. So if I have a model prepared to analyze this data, so then in that, so when I get the actual data also, so we duplicate records. We drop the records and rename the values in the columns. All those things we did, right?
Yes.
How it is when it is actually running in production? If I have that model running, how these steps will apply?
No, the thing is, before, so before applying, like before predicting, say consider that model is running. Okay, so before predicting the output, what you have to do is you have to prepare your data.
Okay, so these steps
whenever,
be doing.
so before, yes.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, we need to keep track of all these cleanup that we did, and then those things also has to be applied on the actual data also.
Yes. That is before predicting the data. See, for example, consider like whenever you train it, right? So you will be doing all the pre-processing. So there is no doubt in it, right? That is whenever you train the model, you will be doing all the pre-processing. So consider you are getting some data. For that you need to find something. Okay, so before sending the data for prediction, you have to do all these things.
Okay.
And then you can just send it.
Oh,
okay. And then you can just send that particular data to that particular model which is running. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so
one more follow-up question with the same thing. So once we have a model deployed, so if at all we want to say, for example, revise the model, how do we do? Or the model will keep learning on itself? Because whenever we get such data, right, how do we make sure we filter the data and pass to the model? So there should be some pre-processing phase, or
that should be there. I actually say learns by itself, we are telling, right? Okay, learns by itself means, so once you deploy the model, it will not learn. Okay, so it will learn when you train the model. Okay, like see, whenever you train it, okay, so that time it will learn everything. All right, and it will keep on learning means you have to, like, whenever you get some more millions of data, you have to train your model again. Okay, you have to train your model again.
So once we get more and more data, we have to keep retraining the model.
Yes.
Okay.
The thing is, consider you have already 1 million records. Okay, so your model is trained with 1 million records. Okay, and you are getting some 0.5 million records for prediction. Okay, so it has predicted some values and you are satisfied with that. Now you have 1.5 million records now. Okay, so now you can send the whole 1.5 million records for training. Okay, now the machine knows 1.5 million records actually. Okay, so based on those 1.5 million records, your model will produce the output again. Okay, got it? So you have to keep training your model.
Hello.
Hi Susan, able to hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So what about you, Ranjit and Abhishek?
Yeah, hang on.
Yeah. So, right. So now we are going to talk about simple linear regression. Okay. So first let me explain what is this algorithm is about. Okay, and then we will get on with the hands-on. Okay, so regression, which is used to find the best fit line. Okay, so consider I have some data like this. Okay, so I have some x-axis and then y-axis. Okay, this is x-axis, this is y-axis, and then these are all data. Okay, so consider the data distribution somewhat like this in the linear fashion. Okay, so these are all data. So now the objective of simple linear regression, we need to find the best fit line. Okay, so what do you mean by best fit line? So that is, see, that particular line can be anywhere. Okay, so the particular line, it can be here or it can be here. Okay, that is, it can be here, it can be here, and it can be over here, or can be here, or can be here. So in this, the best fit line will be considered as the third line. That is, the third line will be considered the best fit line. Why? Because it meets most of the data points. Okay, that is, the distance between the actual values and the predicted values are less. Okay, for example, consider this is the actual data points. Okay, and this is the predicted data points for that. So now what is the difference between these two? That's nothing but error. Okay, and also over here we have something like this. This is actual and this might be the predicted for this particular data point, right? And the difference between these two, it's called error. Okay, so we have n number of data points over here. We need to find the distance between each and every data point, and we need to find the average of all the errors. That is nothing but MSE, that is mean squared errors, that we will see later on. Okay, so and then now talking about this, okay, see, let me explain. There is all drawings. Let me explain. Let's say this is x-axis. Let's say this is speed in x-axis and then distance in y-axis. Okay, speed in x-axis and the distance in y-axis, and then let's keep time as constant. Now what will happen whenever you increase the speed in a fixed time, you can cover more distance. So if you are driving 10 km/h, okay, you can just cover this much distance in the fixed time. If you are driving 20 km/h, you will be covering this much distance. If you are driving like 30 km/h and then 40 km/h and then 50 km/h and then 60 km/h. So whenever you increase the speed in a fixed point of time, you will be increasing the distance. So speed is directly proportional to distance when t is constant. So this is nothing but positive linear regression. It's nothing but what? Positive linear regression and positive correlation between speed and distance. What do you mean by correlation? The relationship between the variables. Okay, the relationship between the variables. All right. So you can see the positive relationship between speed and distance. Okay. So now consider I have, okay, I have, 1 second, we don't have eraser, right? Now I have time in y-axis and speed in x-axis, speed in x-axis and time in y-axis, and now we have the distance as constant. Now what will happen in this case? Whenever you increase the speed, you will cover the same distance in less time, right? So for example, if you are driving at a speed of 10 km/h, you will be covering the distance x in more time. And whenever you increase the speed, okay, your time taken to reach the distance will reduce. So speed is inversely proportional to time when d is constant. Now if you join this line, it is a negative slope. Okay, so it's a negative linear regression. It's a negative linear regression. And the correlation between speed and time will be in negative. So this we call it as negative correlation. Okay, so this linear regression is the very simplest model out of all the models that we are going to see. Okay, so with the simple linear regression, you will always achieve the less accuracy. Why? What is the reason behind it? What is the reason behind it? Why you will achieve always a less accuracy? Okay, the reason is, consider I have something like this. This is x-axis and this is y-axis, and my data points somewhere like this, like I have somewhere here, somewhere here, somewhere here, somewhere, and then somewhere over here. Okay, even if you find the best fit line, okay, it will miss few data points. Okay, for example, consider this is a line. So if you say the relationship is linear, right? Obviously, it will miss n number of data points. See, data points are over here, and some data points are over here. Okay, because of this, the error will be more. Okay, see, there is no problem with these data points because it is closer to the best fit line. So this will give you minimal error only. But if you consider this data point and this data point, this will give you more error. So whenever the error is getting increased, your accuracy will be obviously decreased. Okay, so error is inversely proportional to accuracy, right? So the simple linear regression model is the very basic model in order to predict. Okay, so apart from this, we have something called multiple linear regression and then polynomial regression and all. Okay, that we will see one by one. Okay, so first we are going to talk about simple linear regression. So guys, understood everyone? Guys, understood everyone? Yeah? Okay.
Yes.
So now let me just come to the hands-on.
In that case, a simple linear regression is not effective then in that case, right? So since it's less.
Yes, exactly. Okay, this is just the basic model, that's it. Okay, to start with. Okay, so now let me explain. Okay, so these libraries you guys know, like NumPy, Pandas, and Matplotlib. So you are well versed with this particular libraries. And then now I am going to import sklearn.linear model. So sklearn, there is nothing but scikit-learn. It is used for machine learning libraries. Okay, so sklearn.linear model. So I can say linear regression. So linear regression is a class which is available in sklearn.linear model module. Okay, and then I have something called metrics. Okay, sklearn.metrics. So what do you mean by metrics? What do you mean by metrics? Why, like, what is the terminology like refers to? Measurement, right? You are measuring something. So all evaluation strategies for all the models, everything will be defined in this particular module, sklearn.metrics. Okay, irrespective of the module, even if you go to deep learning, okay, everything will be defined within this metrics. Okay, so for linear regression, we have the metrics like R2 score, mean squared error, and then mean absolute error.
Please enroll our general membership for $399 plan to get access of all the parts.
Along with that, you can access our other tutorials such as Docker, Ansible, Jenkins, Terraform, Splunk, AWS, Azure, and various other DevOps related premium tutorials with our channel membership. If you would have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopsschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video. To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the $399 plan and grow your skills immensely. Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest. Thanks for watching.